And the Premier League champions, Arsenal, they're strengthening their squad, aren't they?
Yeah, just over a month to go until the start of the Premier League season. We can't wait, can we?
No,
Can Arsenal
absolutely.
defend their crown? But they're looking to strengthen their side, and the winger, Christos Tzolis, they've agreed a deal with Club Brugge to sign him. We understand that the fee's around £34 million, which would be a record for the Belgian Pro League. Now, Tzolis wanted the move to Arsenal. As soon as he found out Mikel Arteta wanted him, that's the only place he wanted to play his football this season. And he's set to return to England. He spent 3 seasons at Norwich, but now he comes back a much more rounded player. And Arsenal will be looking for options in their forward line. They let Leandro Trossard go to Besiktas earlier this week for £17 million. And Tzolis will have the opportunity on the left-hand side. He's a versatile player as well. But for some context here, we understand Arsenal's approach to sign Tzolis in this transfer window is independent on any move that may happen for Morgan Rogers later in this transfer window. So it seems independent, but worth noting, no formal approach from Arsenal to Aston Villa just yet.
Right, well, I'm glad you asked that, because we talked about Aston Villa because they lost Yuri Tillemans, didn't they? So who are they hoping to replace him with, and what's going to happen to Morgan Rogers then? Do you know more about that?
Well, it could be a real revamp in the Aston Villa midfield, with Tillemans departing, with Onana out for a period of time with injury as well. And they've agreed a deal, Aston Villa have agreed a deal worth £38 million with Wolves for João Gomez. So £34 million up front, £4 million in potential add-ons. So a very similar fee they'll be paying Wolves in terms of the fee they're getting from Manchester United for Yuri Tillemans, around £36 million. So good business for Aston Villa, for a player who was going to be playing Championship football this season. Now, I think there was an expectation when Wolves went down that he would get a move. Atletico Madrid were one of the clubs interested in signing him. They didn't complete that move, so he's heading to Aston Villa after more than 100 appearances for Wolves. When it comes to Morgan Rogers, there haven't been any formal approaches yet. And that may be because Aston Villa have made it very clear to any club, and there's many clubs interested in signing Morgan Rogers in this window, they do not want to sell him. They are not welcoming any offers. Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Paris Saint-Germain, they've got serious interest in signing him. Arsenal, there's some sources suggesting that Arsenal may make an approach at some point in this transfer window. That's not happened yet, but Villa not welcoming any bids, and because of that, it's difficult to determine what the asking price would be if any club did want to put up some money. But I think when you look at the fees that we've seen in this transfer window already for the likes of Matheus Fernandes, for Sandro Tonali, for Elliot Anderson, I think it's safe to say you'd be looking at more than £100 million if you want to try to sign Morgan Rogers in this transfer window, maybe even more than that.
Yeah, and he's put himself right in that shot window with his performance, especially last night as well. He played out of his skin. What about Lucas Bergvall then at Spurs, and what's going on there? He's attracting interest, isn't he?
Yeah, Nottingham Forest seems to have made him their top priority in terms of players they're looking at to replace Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson sold for £116 million. Bergvall, they're in negotiations with Spurs now. So we understand that Forest had a bid of around £38 million rejected by Spurs earlier on in this window. And Bergvall is their top target, despite the fact he said to the club that he wants to leave Spurs in search of more first-team opportunities. Because of the players I've mentioned that have just joined Spurs, Tonali and Matheus Fernandes, it seems even more likely that Bergvall's going to struggle for minutes this season. But at the same time, sources at Spurs insist he's not for sale in this transfer window. But we've heard from Oliver Glasner today. He's spoken to us for the very first time about taking over at Nottingham Forest, and he's confirmed they are making moves in this transfer window to replace Elliot Anderson.
When you lose and sell such a great player like Elliot is, and I think he showed it for England, I think he was probably one of the most consistent players for England throughout the World Cup, then probably you can't replace him one-to-one, yeah, because he's just doing so well. But yes, we defined our profile of midfielders, what we want to add. I think we are close to, or we already identified them, and it's now to get the deals done. The club is really hard working on it, and as soon as do you see the same? The signature is dry. The ink is dry. Yes, the ink is dry. We will let you know.
Oh, it's nice to see him smiling, isn't it? He's enjoying life already there at Forest. What about Italy? Because I'm hearing that after the World Cup, we're going to see a flurry of players go there. Why?
Potentially 3 defenders. So John Stones is a free agent. He's attracting interest from Inter Milan and Juventus. They're keen on signing him. But I think based on Stones' performances over the last few weeks, there may be some Premier League clubs that look to come in as well. We know just what he can do, a decorated player, a player who still has plenty to offer. Jed Spence looks like a player who's got plenty to offer, one of England's best players in this tournament. Inter Milan and Everton interested in signing him. He had a really good tournament. And it's going to be interesting to see what Spurs do with Jed Spence, because he was so impressive. But at the same time, they've got Pedro Porro, who was so impressive on Tuesday night, scoring in the World Cup semi-final. And they've just signed Andy Robertson as well. They've got no European football. So will there be playing opportunities for Jed Spence, or will he be allowed to leave? At the same time, Trevor Chalobah, a late call-up for England's World Cup squad, didn't play a single minute, so that didn't work out brilliantly for Trevor Chalobah. But he could be on his way to Como. Como had 2 bids rejected by Chelsea, but we understand, according to our colleagues at Sky in Italy, there's a meeting taking place today between Como and Chelsea, where Como are hoping to nail this deal and get it done. Chelsea looking for a package around £30 million, but there does remain interest from other clubs. Sources at Chelsea telling me nothing's close yet, but Como feel like they are very close now to striking an agreement to sign Trevor Chalobah from Chelsea. Another academy graduate, pure profit, so that would be a good move for Chelsea. But sad news for